All right, so if you're seeing my screen, completing the square, there's a recipe, a set of steps that we're going to do every time for these problems, okay?
Yeah.
And some instructors, and it is somewhat important here, they refer to this middle number as b,
Okay.
okay? And they make you do a couple of things. They say, okay, you have to figure out, well, what is b divided by 2, okay? So let's first do this. Let's just figure out what b is. So b is 4. And then b divided by 2 is
Yeah.
4 divided by 2, which is 2. Is that clear?
Okay.
So we're gonna always take this thing and we're gonna cut it in half. All right, so watch this. I'm gonna come down here. You take x and whatever b is 4. You cut it in half and you write plus 2 squared. Okay, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, now right over here, we're gonna put b over 2 squared. What is b over 2 squared? Well, we already have b over 2, that's 2. Squared is 4. Is that okay? So we need
Yeah.
3 things. We need b over 2, and then we need b over 2 squared. So for all of these problems, we need 3 things: b over 2, b over 2 squared. All right. All right. So now we've almost finished this problem with completing the square, but I want you to see that every single time we're going to do these 3 things. Okay. Now, what's a little bit odd here is you actually write this as minus 4 instead of plus 4.
Yeah.
And then this minus 12 just comes down with it.
Okay.
Okay. So let me just get a little more room here. We're not done, but this is the completing the square part. So the completing the square part is x plus 2 squared minus 16 equals 0. So we take our original problem. Let me grab that. So this was our original problem. Just make this a little bit more clear. We take the original problem. We figure out what b is. This is b. This right here is b divided by 2. And then the last thing we need is we need b divided by 2 squared. And that's worked into here, into this part.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's continue to solve this here. So we have x plus 2 squared minus 16 equals 0. To solve for x, you move 16 to the other side. Do you see that?
Yeah.
How do you undo a square? What's the step to undo a square?
Okay, hold on. I need to. Okay. Hold on, I need to write this.
Okay. I was actually gonna rewrite this whole problem.
Okay, there we go. I
Much
already
more.
did it.
Okay.
It
We're not.
x2 it is 8, right?
So we're gonna take the square root of both sides. So x plus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 16.
Okay.
What is the square root of 16?
4.
4. So we're almost done. You subtract 2 from both sides. So x equals minus 2 plus or minus 4. And that's really 2 things. It's minus 2 plus 4 and minus 2 minus 4,
Okay.
which is 2 and then negative 6. So these are your final answers here.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do question 12, but I'm gonna do this one a little bit faster. I'm not faster, more organized. Okay,
All right. Well, okay. Got it down.
this one's gonna be more organized. Okay, so the very first step every time is you're gonna move the number or the constant to the right hand side. So this
Yeah.
15 is gonna go over. You're gonna subtract 15 from both sides.
Okay.
Okay, now what is the b? What is b? What is b in this problem? And it's right here. It's right in front of x. B is -8. Do you see that? B is this number in front of x.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need two things. We need b divided by 2. What is b divided by 2?
B divided by 2.
This number divided by 2 is -4.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing we need is you need to square it. So we need the square of this number. Okay, that's -4 squared, which is 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start with this b value, and every problem is going to be exactly the same. It's very much a recipe. We start with this b value, which is right here.
Yeah.
Okay, now the next step is you write x and then whatever number is here. So see how this is -4, this b over 2, x -4 squared. So I'll use some colors here. This number and this number are the same.
Okay.
Equals, now it's -15, but this last number 16, it's also going to be here. We're gonna add 16 over here on the right side. So this 16 comes from there. So you can see the progression where these numbers come from. And every time it's the same. It's just a lot to remember as a first time seeing this.
Okay.
So we get our b, we cut it in half, that's -4. Then we square it, that's 16, and we use those three numbers here. So notice what you have here. You have x -4 squared equals -15 plus 16. What is -15 plus 16?
What?
What is this on the right hand side? What does this become? What is -15 plus 16?
-15 plus 16.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's x -4 squared equals 1. Now, how do you undo a square from the previous problem?
You want to go, you want to scroll up?
Sure. So in the previous problem, how did we undo this square? What is this operator here?
Okay.
What does this mean? What does this symbol mean?
So wait, what problem is the, okay. I think we already did that problem.
Well, we did. You said to scroll up, and I'm trying to ask
Okay,
you.
yeah, here.
I'm
Let me
asking you.
say it like that, and let me write that.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
All right. So how do you undo a square? How do you undo this square right here?
Okay, so how do you undo the square? Well, you just have to
What is this symbol?
divide
What is this symbol?
x squared,
I know, but what is this one on the outside of it?
square root.
Square root. So you square root both sides.
What?
You square root both sides.
Okay.
Square root both sides. And on the left, it undoes the square. On the right, it's plus or minus whatever this number is. Now, this is a friendly, like it works out really nicely.
Okay.
Square root of 1 is 1. Okay, so what's left?
Yeah.
What's left here is you're going to add 4 to both sides. So x equals 4 plus or minus 1. So that's 4 plus 1, 4 minus 1, 5 and 3.
Okay. Okay, so let me just do that. Let me write that down. Okay, that's the answer.
That's the answer. Okay. Now I want to remind you that on every problem, we're going to do this. I'm going to ask you, what is the value of b? We're going to divide it by 2 to get a number. Then we're going to square it. And we're going to do the same thing for every problem remaining on this. So there's nothing at this point, there is nothing new that you will see in these
Okay.
problems. So there's like, if you're going to follow this recipe, you will see that you can do it. All right. So notice the number is already on the right-hand side of the equation. 7 is already on the right-hand side. Okay, that's great. We want that. What is the b value in this problem? I'm circling it. What is b?
Okay.
Sourish, what is the value of b? And I've circled it.
6.
6. Okay, so what is b divided by 2? What is this
3.
number? 3. What is b divided by 2 squared? What is 3 squared?
9.
Very good. Okay, so now where do these numbers go? Well, the 3 goes on the left. It's x plus 3 squared equals, see how this 3 goes right there? 7, and then you add this 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me know when you get this written down.
Okay, let me write that down.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is going to be negative.
It's 16 on the right-hand side, and then now you take a square root of both sides. What is the
Okay.
square root of 16?
Square root of 16. The square root of 16. Oh. Okay, the square root of 16 is square root of 16 is 4.
Very good. Okay, so now we subtract 3 from both sides. So x equals minus 3 plus or minus 4, which is two things. It's minus 3 plus 4 and minus 3 minus 4.
Yeah. Okay.
What are the two final answers here for this?
Hold on, hold on. Okay, and that answer is 1, negative 1. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Those are the answers.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to do the next one. And I'm going to keep repeating this because it's very important that you believe this is they're now all the same. Like we're gonna do the same thing for the next one. And I think eventually you'll realize like, oh, these are the same. Matthew is telling me that all I have to do is the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the value of b in this problem?
Okay. So for that right there, you should so for that, I think what you need to do is okay. So for B, it's negative 2x.
That is not correct. That is not
2.
correct.
15.
So you're just guessing here. Let's go back and look at the previous problem. What was the value of b in this problem here?
What was the value of B?
Are you looking at my screen?
Yeah, I'm looking at your screen.
Do you see me circling the same thing over and over again?
Yeah. I
Okay.
saw you.
I'm trying to like lead you to the right answer. What is the value of
It's
b?
6.
So does it include the x? Is there an x
No.
here?
No.
It's positive because it's plus, so it's the number in front of x. Let's go look at the previous problem and see if it's the same way. What is b in this problem?
B on that problem. Okay. Negative 8.
Is negative 8 the number in front of x?
Yeah.
Yes. So the b is the number in front of x. What is the number in front of x in this problem? What is the number in front of x?
2. Negative 2.
Which one is it, 2 or negative 2?
Negative 2.
It's negative 2. Okay. What is b divided by 2? What is this number cut in half?
B divided by 2 is 4.
Let's go back and look at the previous problem. How did I get 3 from 6?
Oh wait, it's 1. It's 1. It's 1.
It's not 1. There's a negative.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Good. Now b over 2 squared, you have to square this number that I'm circling. What is negative 1 squared?
Okay.
What is -1 squared?
-1 squared is 1.
It is 1. Very good. All right, so the next thing you do is you write x, and then you put this b over 2 number inside parentheses. Do you see that?
Yeah.
-1 goes in here because it always goes in there. That's where it goes. Next to the 15, you put whatever this number is, whatever b over 2 is, you add it over here on the right.
Yeah.
So this is 16, x minus 1 squared. What is the next step here? How do you undo a square?
You okay, so so you just have to like so you have to like add.
What did we do in the previous problem here to undo the
We
square?
just subtracted by 1.
Nope, I mean that's not here. What is it?
It
What is the
equals
symbol? What is this symbol here?
a square root.
Square root. So you undo a square with a square root.
Mm-hmm.
So you square root both sides.
Square both sides. Yeah.
Yes. So on the left here, it's x minus 1. On the right, it's plus or minus 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus and minus 4.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Okay, we are not done with this problem though, because you have to add 1 to both sides.
Okay.
So x equals 1 plus or minus 4. 1 plus 4, 1 minus 4.
Okay. Okay. So for that right there, you should 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 minus 4 is -3.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
All right, let's look at 15.
Mm-hmm.
15 is just the same as the previous problems. Okay. For the last few problems though, the numbers have already been on the right-hand side. If there's a number here, like 30 without an x or an x squared, you want to first move that to the other side. So this is x squared minus 14x equals minus 24.
Yeah.
So no, in the previous problems, like there wasn't a number here, it was already on the right-hand side, fine. Like, but this problem, you have to move the number first. That's just an additional step.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to ask, and you just let me know when you're ready, is I want to know the value of b.
All right. The value of b.
Yes, what is the value of b?
The value of b is okay. -14.
Good. Next thing is you divide it by 2. What is -14?
Yep, it's negative. It's -7.
Then the last thing is you square it. What is -7 squared? What is this number I'm circling squared?
So 7.
This is what I'm asking. -7 squared, which means -7 times -7.
Yeah, I know. It's a 49. I just got a little just confused right there.
Okay. So now you come over here on the left and you always write x. What goes in here? What goes in the parentheses? And it's one of these 3 numbers. Which one is it? we've done 4 problems exactly the same up until now. If you're not
Yeah.
sure, look back in your previous problems, try to figure out what goes in here. Is it this first number, the second number, or the third number?
Okay, that is that right there is 7.
-7.
Yeah, -7.
Okay. And then this 49, this last number goes on the side over here on the right.
Yep.
So we got
Yeah.
x minus 7 squared equals 25. How do you undo a square?
You would
How do you undo a square?
undo a square. Okay, you should for that you should like just you should add is that I think what you need to do is put a square root. I think it's a square root.
That is correct. The answer is square root.
Yeah.
So you're going to square root both sides.
Yeah,
Plus
square
or
root both
minus
sides.
that. So that leaves us with x minus 7 equals plus or minus 5.
-5.
Now you add 7 to both sides.
Yeah.
So x equals 7 plus or minus 5. 7 plus 5, 7 minus 5.
Okay, and now so for the nits so the answers are 12 and 2.
Yes. But if you just write the answers without all the other work, your instructor will be suspect. They'll say, how can you know this without the work?
Okay, okay. All right. Well, okay. I think everything's good.
All right. So number 16 is just like every other problem we've done today. It's exactly the same. The 21, we need to move to the other side of the equation. We need to
Yeah,
subtract 21 from both sides. X squared plus 12x equals -11.
yeah.
And from here, you can probably already guess what I'm going to ask you, which is what is the value of b?
So B equals 12.
Good. What is b
So
divided by 2?
I know what it is. I know. 6.
Okay. And then the last one is you got to square that number.
By 6 is by 6, right?
6 squared means 6 times 6.
36. So and it's 6.
Good. All right. So now on the left here, what goes inside parentheses? It's one of these 3 numbers.
Six and 2.
X plus what number? What goes in here?
Plus 6.
X plus 6. Oh,
Oh, is everything okay?
yeah. The
The
small
cursor?
small technical error there. All right. And then this 36 goes on the right. So you're left
Yeah.
with x plus 6 squared equals 25. So we've done several problems where we've gotten up to this step. I want you to try solving it from here on your own.
Okay. You want to go back? You want to scroll up?
Sure.
Okay, it's good. It's good. It's good now.
Okay.
Just scroll back down.
Okay.
So 25, you should use the square root,
That's right.
and it's 5.
Nope. Nope. That's not correct.
Hmm.
Let's go back up and look. Because we had the same number in this problem. Did I write?
You should, I think what you need to do is add 6 by 6.
We're doing the same thing in every problem. So what am I doing in this? What does this symbol mirror mean? What does this mean to you? It's the answer to this question. How do you undo a square?
How do you undo square root?
Square. And what is this in front of the 5?
Plus or minus.
Yes. So the same thing has to be true here. You square root both sides, but it's plus or minus.
Yeah.
So it's plus or minus 5. Okay. Can you solve it from here? Can you give me the two numbers that work?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now for that, you should all right. So now for that, that's 11 and negative 11.
Okay, so if you subtract 6 from both sides, x equals minus 6 plus or minus 5, minus 6 plus 5, minus 6 minus 5.
Okay, minus 6 plus 5 is negative 11. I mean, no, 11, I would say 11. And for negative 6 minus 5, it's
What is minus 6 plus 5?
it's 1. I can't believe it.
It's negative 1.
Negative 6, negative 5, minus negative 5.
What about this
Minus,
next one?
oh, wait, minus 5. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Just want to get it down.
Yeah, and for that right there, it's negative 11.
Very good. Okay, so those are your two answers.
Yeah.
Let me know when you get this down and we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so 17, it's just like the others.
Yeah, it's the same. I think I know it because I got some of them down.
So the first thing is to move this 1 to the other side of the equation. So it's x squared minus 4x equals negative 1.
Yeah.
And then I want 3 things. I want b divided by 2, and then I want b divided by 2 squared. Give me those 3 numbers whenever you have them.
Okay. B equals 4, negative 4.
-4, good. What about the next one?
B equals 2.
It's half of this number. What is half of -4?
2. Negative 2.
-2, okay. And then the last one is you're squaring this number, so you're multiplying it by itself.
Yeah. And that is
So it's -2 times -2.
-2 times -2 is 4.
Very good. Okay, so what goes in parentheses over here? X, and then what goes next to it?
Okay, and then for that right there, you should x plus -2.
Okay, X minus 2 in here.
Mhm,
Good. And then the 4 goes over here on the right.
mhm.
So we have X minus 2 squared equals 3. Let me know when you get up to this step here, because we've got to work it out together from here.
Okay. All right, and then for that right there, what you need to do is x minus 2 equals plus plus or minus 1 3, and then it equals 1. I mean 1.
It's the square root of 3.
And
So
1.
the square root of 3, the square, and that's why I asked you to let me know when you got up to this point, because it's very important. The square root of 3 is the square root of 3. Okay,
Okay.
this one is not friendly. And what I mean by that is it doesn't really work out nicely.
Okay.
So when it's not friendly, you have to leave it as is. And just kind of as an aside here, the square root of 5 is not friendly. Same with like the square root of 6.
Yeah.
These don't change. They're exactly the way they are.
I
Okay,
know.
but like the square root of 4, that is friendly. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3. Those are friendly.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so then the last step here is to add 2 to both sides. So x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 3. And that's your final answer.
Okay, I know. Okay.
All right, so let's do 18.
I think we don't have time.
Would you like to stop here?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you let your dad know we're all done
Hey,
for
Dad.
today?
Yeah, because I think I have some of them down, and I think it's going to help me remember. It's going to exactly help me remember.
All right.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Dr. Kathari. So we did completing the square today. Every problem we did is exactly the same, meaning that it's the same steps. You just change just different numbers. It would be great for him to try a few of these on his own before he turns this in, or whenever, if he's got any more time tonight or tomorrow. But I do think he's following it. You know, I'm always unsure if I could just say, all right, do one from the start to finish, but he was actively engaged in the lesson today. We went through and got up to, I think, 18 for today's lesson.
All right, good. At least he's understanding, right?
I think so. I would, I'd like to see him try some on his own and see how he does. It's a little hard in this format for me to see that, but
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. I'm telling him every day to practice your tutorial that you're emailing.
Yes,
That's one thing he has to do. Right, Sourish? You have to
Oh, well, yeah.
practice the tutorial and the lessons. Okay.
if
All right.
if he can watch the screen recording, even if he's doing it while he's doing something else, that will also help just to listen to the lesson again.
Yeah.
And work through
No,
the
he
problems.
doesn't do that. That's what I want him
Oh,
to
I
do.
did. I did.
You're doing it?
I did that one time. I did that one time last time.
Yeah, you have to do every day night before go to bed. Okay. That you'll remember better, Sourish. Okay.
It may put him to sleep. The completing of the square is not all that interesting, but it's
Okay.
it's a
At least,
useful.
Whenever he feels like, when he's
Sure.
not sleepy,
Yeah.
So the more you practice, the better you remember and do it fast in the test.
Yes.
Math is all about practice. So,
All right.
Anyway,
we got another lesson on Thursday. We'll either pick up here or work on something new.
okay, all right then. Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. See you next time. Bye
All
now.
right. Bye.
Bye, Sourish.